It's a present wrapped in a big bow. A quickie Vegas wedding to her childhood friend Jason Alexander in January 2004. Almost as quick, the annulment that followed.
Oh, that was just silly.
But do you think that gave the press something to talk about?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Another negative aspect.
Yeah.
She says she now understands that the marriage was an act of rebellion on her part.
I was on the road for a while, and again, I was doing a lot of what I was told instead of what I wanted to really do, and I didn't know how to break out of that. So in my young mind, I'm like, I'm gonna just get married to someone of my home friends. You know what I mean? It was just like something, but I have no regrets with anything that I've ever done.
And that includes her relationship with her present husband, Kevin Federline, father of their 9-month-old son, Sean Preston. When Britney met Kevin in a Los Angeles club 2 years ago, he was a backup dancer and already a young dad, having fathered a child with actress Shar Jackson and another baby on the way.
You know, so much was written and said about the way the relationship began between you and Kevin. Not as much about the way it began, but the timing of it beginning. That he left his girlfriend when she was pregnant. Mm-hmm. I think 6 months pregnant, Shar was. Did that bother you? Did you stop and think, wait a second? That's a very delicate situation.
Actually, I didn't know. I didn't know until 2 months later. But I don't blame him because him and his friends, I've talked to his friends about this, they weren't technically together when he came to me anyways. They were, you know, apart. But that happened with Julia Roberts too, but it's more talked about and more of an issue with me. Like, her husband was married and had kids when they first got together. But for some reason, it's like boom in your face when it happens with me. And it's really none of anybody's business.
Britney is referring to Julia Roberts' relationship with husband Danny Moder, who was married when they met, but did not have any children.
You said to me a couple of times already today you believe in karma. Mm-hmm. And as someone who is now several months pregnant, do you ever stop and think, you know, he left someone else when she was a couple of months pregnant? Does that ever cross your mind?
No, because we're very happy together right now.
Not if you believe the tabloids, which claim that Britney and Kevin are breaking up, that he's dating others and living in the basement at home. When we return, Britney sets the record straight.
So he's living here?
Oh, definitely.
Living on the ground, the main floor?
Yes, of course.
There's not a basement somewhere?
He helps me. He has to. I'm an emotional wreck right now.
Are you really?
When Britney Spears Speaking Out continues.
So when the magazine screams on the cover, pregnant and divorcing, you want people to know?
No, none of that's true.
In her song Toxic, Britney Spears talks about a poisonous relationship. But despite what the tabloids say, she says that's not what her life is like with husband Kevin Federline.
Let's talk about married life.
Okay.
All right. How's your marriage?
Awesome, thank you.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Britney Spears and Kevin Federline will celebrate their second anniversary in September. They have a 9-month-old son, Sean Preston, and another baby on the way, which Britney chose to publicly announce on The Late Show with David Letterman.
Don't worry, Dave, it's not yours.
Oh. Well, I think that's good news for both of us. Well, we've established now that you are in fact pregnant, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, well, there you go. See, Paul?
A televised birth announcement. No surprise there, considering Mr. and Mrs. Federline have been living in front of the cameras ever since they started their relationship. And don't just blame the paparazzi. Although Britney claims she wants her privacy, she had no problem turning her relationship with Kevin into a reality show, Britney and Kevin Chaotic, which aired on UPN.
Let's get crazy! It's a good balance. It's like we're friends and we have good sex.
And with the Federlines feeding the very hand that bites them, it's no surprise that the marriage of a multi-millionaire pop star and a former backup dancer and aspiring rapper who left his pregnant girlfriend to be with said pop star has raised the tabloids' interest in Britney to a level she couldn't have imagined back in those Mouseketeer days.
Let me show you some magazines, okay?
Okay.
These are all current, all right? I don't have to show you them all, but We got one here. Brittney moves on without Kevin. Brit's new man.
Oh no. That's my security guard.
The final days, fed up with Kevin's lies, he's sleeping in the basement. We'll get to these individually, but basically this is the tone. That this marriage is over, there are problems in paradise, and it's not going to last.
You know what? I need to create my own magazine. These people, like they want stories to sell, and they're very good, you know. I need to come up with my own magazine and say the real deal.
We'll set the record straight. I mean, first of all, can I, in an effort of full disclosure, when I came through the gate today, the first person I saw was Kevin.
Yeah.
So he's living here.
Oh, definitely. He's working very hard.
Living on the ground, the main floor?
Yes, of course.
There's not a basement somewhere?
He helps me. He has to. I'm an emotional wreck right now.
Are you really?
Not in a bad way, just you know, I'll start laughing hysterically and then I'll just start crying. Like, just because.
So it's the hormones of the pregnancy racing through your body.
Yeah, so it's nice to have my husband there to keep me company.
Do you get the sense, Brittney, that people are rooting against this marriage? And I don't mean just the magazine editors. I mean people.
I don't really know. I don't know. If they are, then I think that's sad. I think everybody should be pro-love, you know. And I know it sounds so silly, but I feel like love conquers all. I know that sounds like, but it does.
One of the magazines asked the question on the cover. It said, "Can this marriage be saved?" And then they went on and answered their own question and said, "We hope not."
Oh, what magazine was that?
It's here somewhere, I think. Can she work it out with Kevin? We hope not.
Like I said, I try not to respond to trash.
What do you see in him? What is it about Kevin that makes you love him?
It's very simple. Women complicate everything. He's so simple. His simplicity and just, he's like a boy. He just, you know, and he cares. He cares so much, and his heart is awesome. He has a really big heart, and I love that.
Kevin has been a tabloid target himself these past few months, called everything from a freeloader to a philanderer, which he strongly denies. Recently, he's tried to do a little image makeover of his own, posing for a cleaned-up cover shot for this month's Item magazine.
Hey, Brittney, beautiful couple.
The 28-year-old didn't want to be interviewed the day we visited, but he recently spoke with Access Hollywood and demoed his debut CD. In the interview, he raved about Brittney.
She's so supportive. From the first time I went in and started recording about beginning of the summertime, she was there, you know. She was pregnant and everything, but she was right there.
And Kevin talked about how he's been misunderstood.
I have feelings and hurt and happy, sad, cry, fight, all that, everything. It's no different than nobody else.
And as for those tabloid taunts that he's a gold digger, Kevin maintains he's his own man.
I've been paying for everything out of my pocket. Everything.
And although Brittney is clearly the breadwinner in this family, she's well aware just how important it is for her husband to pull his own weight.
You know, he has children now that he, you know, with me, that he wants to support and not just let it be all me. You know, he's a man. And so I think it's very important to him that he is doing his own thing.
Do you think there's a sense out there, Brittney, that some people who love you and have watched you grow up, go through the pop princess years and into young adulthood, get some feeling that he's not good enough for you?
Oh, that would hurt me for anybody to say that.